Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be giving you a tour of the cockpit and showing you how to cold start the de Havilland DH89 Dragon Rapide by David Garwood. Now this is a freeware and for a freeware it's not half bad. So we will start with the left hand side and work our way round. So we have over here, I am aware that my cursor, it will be slightly off, so I'm going to try and compensate that, so I do apologise if it's not exactly where it should be. But here is the your voltmeter, and wherever it will glow obviously will be a lot more helpful for me and you. Here is the opening and closing of the windows. Just hold the button down, pull down on the mouse, let go, and it will stay open, and push up again to close it. And then we have our mixture levers here, throttle levers, obviously your trim wheel with your little trim wheel gauge just here. Left is aft and right is fore. Here we have the parking brake, and now we're going on to the main panel. Now to make life a little bit easier, we can remove the steering column flight yoke, and it's with this button here. So if we click that, there we go, and we can see the flight panel a lot easier. So working left to right again, so we've got our flap indicator here. This is our fuel tank selector for the fuel gauge, which is down here. So there's only two fuel tanks in this aircraft, so selecting the two there, the last one's empty, go back to the beginning again. Next is our airspeed in miles per hour, of which about 120 miles per hour maximum I've got out of this without any issues. Under that is the barometric altimeter. Going up we have our oil pressure lights for left and right engine. I believe that's a floodlight switch, I've not been able to get that to work. And down here is our pitot switch and magnetic compass. We go over a bit further, steering indicator, turn slip indicator, obviously our artificial horizon as it says underneath, our suction gauge, our vertical velocity indicator, clock, electrical warning light, RPM warning lights, left and right engine. Then we have our oil pressure in pounds per square inch for left and right engine, RPM gauges for left and right engine. Over here we have our oil temperature for obviously left and right engine, and then these are our electrical switches and magnetos and starter switches. Come down to the right, this is our fuel tank selector, and this little thing here is our primer. So obviously you choose your tank and then prime it and such. This down here is your flap lever or handle, and then before I forget, this is your fuel cock for the right engine, fuel cock for the left engine, hiding just behind the books there. And then last but not least we have another window which we can open and close. So that's the cockpit tour. Let's have a walk around. So walking around the aircraft in the livery of Hotel Golf 691, which is based with classic wings at Duxford, and we seem to have a big aircraft coming into land with no wheels. Brilliant. Random. Anyway, carrying on with the tour, as you can see, level of detail is quite good for freeware, and like I say, don't expect payware level, but I think David has done a fantastic job of this. It looks absolutely fantastic. Even the remove before flight tag looks really good. The little details. Yeah, so I mean, it comes in a range of flavours, which I would have shown you previously, and yeah, again, very nice. So we'll jump in the cockpit and we'll get it started. Right, so the first thing we need to do is to come down to the switch panel down here and make sure the ground flight is in ground position. So click so that it's up, come over to the left hand side, click on the fuel cock for the left engine, Magnetos on for the left engine, select port on the engine selector here, starboard, go port, and now we are going to prime. So click to unscrew, and we're going to prime 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that engine is primed, ready to go. When we have Magnetos on, it's clear. Right, we're going to click the top starter, and the engine has come to life. Suction gauge has moved. Artificial horizon is calibrating itself. We have fuel pressure, oil pressure reading in pounds per square inch, which is around about 45. Nothing registering on the RPM gauge because it doesn't register anything under 1,300 RPM. Oil gauge, the temperature is climbing, and that will warm up to around about 45 degrees, in which case we need to do the next level of engine warm up. Now we're going to repeat the same process for the starboard engine. So fuel cock on, Magnetos on, we're going to select starboard engine, and we're going to prime 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can unselect that, put that in the neutral position. Again, Magnetos are on, engine is clear, and now we're going to click the starter, and now we have right engine running. Flick on the nav lights, landing light if you so wish, panel lights, and obviously we're going to have a generator, electric warning light up there. Flick the generator on, now we are producing our own electricity. Oil pressure, warning lights are on because obviously the pressure is lower than obviously is satisfactorial. So what we're going to do is advance the throttle slightly, usually do one at a time, and once the throttles have been advanced forward slightly, the lights go out. As you can see, I've crept over the 1,300 threshold on the RPM gauge there on the left engine. I'm just going to let the oil warm up a bit more. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to check the magnetos. So throttle back. Now we're going to power up to 2000 RPM on the left engine. So watch this gauge here. Get up to 2000. Okay, so we're about there now. Now we're going to check the magnetos. What we're going to do is look for around about 50 RPM change when we select each magneto. So 1 off, and you see the needle drops ever so slightly there, so around about 50 RPM. Switch that back on again, and now it's back up. Select the other magneto. Again, needle drops slightly. Click it back on, and it cruise back up to 2000. We're going to do the same again with the right engine. If you have anything over 100 RPM difference with Magnetos, then you have an engine issue and it's advised not to fly. Well, that would be in the real world, but this is the sim world, so if you want to try that, it's up to you. So there you go, we've got the engine running up to 2000 RPM. And check the magnetos. So number 1 magneto, 50 RPM drop, back up again, and now the other magneto. Okay, another 50 RPM drop. Okay, so that is all good, and that is, well, that's cold starting the DH89 Rapide. So yeah, I hope that's helped. As always, if you got this far, please like, and if you haven't, hopefully subscribe. I may do a flight tutorial on this one yet, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, really good mod, thoroughly recommend. So yeah, lovely little cruiser. So yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.